What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Staying Creative with Diffus. It's been a while with a lot going on. This episode certainly took a toll on me because it was a lot more work than I had expected from the beginning. But in the end, I think it was well worth the effort I put down on this. In this episode, I'm gonna work with a material called worbla thermal plastics. It's commonly used in the cosplay scene.
I travel over oceans of time. Well, not so much oceans, but a mere drop. To bring you this most important message.
Who said that?
If you do not make me, you will shatter the space-time continuum and cause a paradox that will wipe out all of existence. Oh, and I will need a blood sacrifice from you. See you later, procrastinator.
So after this incredible intro, I'm starting out with making a base frame. So I'm heating this worbla plastic up with a heat gun, and then it just melts onto the base frame and becomes hard like normal plastics almost. Worbla thermoplastics comes in different kind of colors. You have the white, which is semi-transparent. It will light up when you if you have a light source behind it. It's also kind of, I would say, medium sturdy when it cools down. And then you have the black worbla plastics. It's has the lowest melting temperature, so it becomes almost liquefied when you heat it up, and it becomes very hard instead, and it's not transparent at all. And then you have the transparent plastics, which is great for stuff you really want to light up or light through. So the problem though is when you mix these like I did here and you heat it up, some parts will start to melt immediately and other parts will start to melt afterwards, which is a problem when you combine these. There are also other kind of worbla plastics, but I haven't tried those out yet. I will though. I'm gonna make a crown and horns out of this transparent plastic. And I noticed there are I could use the chicken wire here as a kind of template to make these cool crystal looking crown points. So transparent worbla, it has the highest melting temperature, so you really have to be careful when you use these. I should really be using Thermo gloves or something, because you can really burn your fingers because this becomes really hot, and you have to work fast when it's moldable. The materials are moldable. Now I'm doing a base coat primer, and then go to the trusty old Liquitex spray colors and base paint, doing a base coat of white, so it will all become a nice cohesive shade. So do some swift pressings on the cap to not build up paint, so it will start to drip. I talked about this in my previous video, Staying Creative with Diffus part 1. Then I'm going with some black on the parts that are gonna be a little bit darker around the eyes and under the cheek. And going with green, blue and yellow. Yellow for the highlights, blue for the like shade stuff. And then for the crystals, I do a very thin layer of paint, because they are just to color them. They're gonna be lit up by the LEDs later. I'll try moving parts around to see where it will fit best. It's like almost laying a puzzle. Quite bend them in place with the heat gun again. So now we're gonna make some eyelashes for this multi-dimensional space elf from the future. I'm using wire tubing that I cut up in pieces and spray them black. This stencil some of you may recognize from my first video for the clouds in the desert. So now I'll go in with some very with some black that I mixed with a lot of water, just to give it some subtle shading in some of the crevices around to bring out some more of the details, like a wash, and also highlighting the patterns with some yellow Flashe.
This is a true reason for renewal. The world is ours. Is a true reason for renewal. The world is ours. Is a true reason for renewal.
Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make the crown. So I bought these glass bowls at a second-hand like a thrift shop. It's nothing I would ever probably use in a normal case, but because it feels like something you would find at your grandparents' house or something. But they had some cool patterns going on, and they were really cheap, they were like €1 each, and they were great for using with the worbla plastics to get patterns patterns going on. For the horns here, I used some wire to and then heat them up to not make them bend in place and not start to sog. Here I built this little skull. It was a lot of finicky it was a lot of finicky to build it by making a tin foil skull as a base, and then heat up the transparent thermoplastics over it. But it was very finicky to take out all the foil afterwards. So here we have a cell plastic I've used for a Super Mario deco. You can see this is like one of those pipes. Had it for a Super Mario Party. But I needed something as a base for my multi-dimensional space elf from the future. So this will be repurposed as the hair or tentacles or what you like to call it. So moving around some of these old cutouts from the cell plastics to get a kind of idea of how I like to how it's gonna how we're gonna position it. This cell plastics is a lot of fun to work with. With the, you see the I had this heat. It's this cutting tool that heats up, and it's like carving into butter or soft ice cream. It does smell a lot, and so you should use like protection gear. I don't think this is it's not very healthy to breathe this. The fumes from this it's not very healthy. So use a respirator mask or something, or do it in a well ventilated place, because this smells like burnt plastic. And I have to warn you, if you are sensitive for blood, skip ahead.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Because here is my blood sacrifice to the entity or the muse. I cut myself really badly. I had just changed the blade for my blade cutter, and it was the first time I've cut myself this bad. So I was in complete shock and denial that it was as deep as it was, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I don't have to go to the hospital. So I filmed this little clip just to ask if someone thinks I need to go to the hospital. And then I almost passed out and puked. And a friend called me to check up on me. He said, you need to go to the emergency right away. I'll pick you up and drive you there. I was pretty lucky though. I can still use my thumb, but with some nerve damage. But yeah, I was still pretty lucky, I would think. That's one reason why this video have taken so long to finish. Besides my procrastination, I'm gonna do a paper mache outer coating for everything. It's hobby glue mixed up with almost 50% water and paper towel, and then you soak the paper towels in this and it makes, when it hardens, it makes the structure, the cell plastic more sturdy, and it also helps the paint to stick to it better, and it also gives it a bit of texture, so you don't have to primer it. So I did a black base coating with the Liquitex colors, then a little bit of white to bring out some of the highlights, but I think I would just have stick to black if I would do this for the next time. Didn't need the white because it made it grayish instead. So and then when I've used the fluorescent Liquitex green, blue and yellow, I go over with some white Flashe to bring out the highlights again, and then go in with Flashe yellow and green. So here we have a test with LEDs. Warning if you have some, if you are sensitive to flashing lights. I didn't realize when filming this in hyperlapse, the changing of the LEDs would become so flashing. Some last details for the crown piece. And we're about finished here. So for this time, thank you for watching, and if you're not already subscribed, press the subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified when the next video comes. Don't forget to press a thumbs up if you like this video. And till next time, stay creative.